They dressed me like a bride. Not the kind who walks down an aisle beneath a canopy of roses, heart full of hope and vows on her lips. No. This was something else entirely. This was a transaction. A white silk gown slid over my body like water, delicate and expensive and cruel. The sleeves slinked off my shoulders as if they, too, were ashamed of what I'd become. A slit rode high up my thigh, less a design, more an invitation written in sin. "Keep your head down," they said. "Smile, but not too much. Look soft, innocent, breakable. Don't speak unless spoken to." Tonight, I wasn't a daughter. I wasn't a woman. I was an offering. My father had made a mistake. One that came with blood and numbers and consequences. And I was the price he chose to pay. The De Rossi family, ruthless, cold, and soaked in power, were collecting. And I was promised to their youngest son. 𝗬𝗂 De Rossi. Clean cut. Ivy League smile. Dangerous ambition. The kind of man who shook hands with politicians and slit throats in alleyways. A future dawn, they said. The kind of man who knew how to own something and break it with care. But when the black car arrived that night, when the heavy doors opened and footsteps echoed across the estate marble, it wasn't 𝗬𝗂. It was him. Nico De Rossi. The ghost. Tall enough to make the air shift when he walked. 6'4" of tailored sin wrapped in black. Tattoos peeked from beneath his crisp white collar. His jaw was stubbled, square, brutal. His silver eyes? They weren't eyes. They were weapons. When he looked at me, it wasn't a look. It was a claim. My breath stuttered in my throat. He didn't speak at first. Just stood there, one gloved hand in his coat pocket like he had all the time in the world, and none for me. "You're not 𝗬𝗂, I said, before my nerves could stop me. He tilted his head, slow. Like a predator sizing up a mouthy rabbit. "No," he said at last, voice sharp and smooth like broken glass. "He doesn't get to touch what's mine." My lips parted. "What?" He walked toward me. Each step echoed in my bones. His shoes tapped on marble like the beginning of a funeral. "You're not marrying 𝗬𝗂." He didn't ask. He informed. "You're coming with me. My father sold you to the De Rossi family," he said, voice like steel. Nobody said which brother would collect. He was right. The contract only mentioned the name De Rossi, not which monster behind the name. And this one? This one had blood in his smile and ruin in his shadow. "Pack your things," he said, already turning on his heel like it was settled. "You belong to me now." I stood there, frozen, breathing like my lungs didn't understand oxygen anymore. I don't even know you." He paused at the door, glancing back over his shoulder. That smirk? It didn't just curl lips. It curled my fate. "You'll learn, little dove," he murmured. "You'll learn everything I like." I didn't speak in the car. What the hell was I supposed to say? "Hey, thanks for stealing me from your brother. Nice gun holster, by the way. Do all your brides come with a threat level?" No. Silence was safer. Silence was survival. He drove like he ruled the goddamn road, one hand on the wheel, the other draped over the gearshift like he was bored of reality. The city blurred past in shadows and secrets. The windows were tinted darker than sin. I couldn't see a thing beyond the glass. I wasn't just in a car. I was in his possession. Every breath I took felt borrowed. Every second, I waited for him to speak. To ask. To command. But he didn't. Nico didn't need words to dominate a room. Or a car. Or me. After what felt like 20 silent, heavy minutes, we turned underground. The garage swallowed us whole, concrete walls, hidden cameras, no sound but the soft hum of power and money. A private elevator waited at the far end. When the car stopped, he didn't wait for a reaction. He opened the door, stepped out, and looked back once. "Come," he said simply. Not a suggestion. A fact. I followed. The elevator rose fast, smooth as silk, silent as a secret. I could feel his presence behind me. Solid. Still. Watching. And when the doors opened, the air changed. His penthouse wasn't just luxury. It was a kingdom. Marble floors stretched like untouched snow beneath my feet. Floor-to-ceiling windows wrapped the space, the city glittering beneath us like a graveyard made of diamonds. Every detail was sharp, expensive, controlled. Just like him. "You live here?" I asked, voice barely more than a whisper. No, he loosened his tie, tossing it onto the glass console. "I rule from here." My stomach flipped. He walked across the space like he didn't just own it, he commanded it. Tossed his coat over the back of a leather chair, poured himself a drink from a crystal decanter, then turned to look at me. "You hungry?" I shook my head. No. Wrong move. He was already dialing something on his phone. "You'll eat," he said flatly. "I won't have you fainting or looking like a stray. You're not a prisoner. You're mine." I stood near the door, fists clenched, trying to ground myself in the chaos. "So what now?" I snapped. "You drag me into your bed and pretend this is normal?" He didn't answer. Didn't even blink. He set his drink down. Walked toward me. Each step deliberate. Slow. The kind of walk a man takes when he already knows you're not going to run fast enough. Then he said it. One word. "Strip." I blinked. "What?" "Take off the dress." My voice wavered. "I'm not sleeping with you." He stopped a few inches from me. His height swallowed me whole. The air turned thick with something I couldn't name. "You think this is about fucking?" he said low. "No, little dove. This is about owning." He leaned in, lips brushing the shell of my ear, and I felt my skin turn to fire. "You walked into my world wearing white like some symbol of purity," he murmured. "But I see through it. I see the way you breathe. The way your thighs clenched in the car. The way you looked at me like you wanted to be broken." He reached out. Let one finger trail down my neck like a razor made of silk. "You'll sleep in my bed. You'll eat my food. You'll live by my rules." "What rules?" I whispered. He smirked, the devil behind his eyes lighting up like a storm was coming. "Rule number 1, you don't lie to me. Ever. I'll always know. Rule number 2, you don't run from me. Because I'll always catch you. Rule number 3, he paused, dragging the moment out until my pulse felt like a war drum. You don't belong to anyone else. Not ever. Not again. Then he waited. Not for me to argue. But to submit. "Say it," he said, voice sharp and soft at the same time. "Say yes, Nico." I swallowed. I didn't say it. But I didn't leave either. And he smiled. That dark, wolfish smile that said he'd already won. "You will," he said. "Soon, you'll beg to say my name." I didn't sleep. Not from fear. Not exactly. It was him. The way he moved through the space like a shadow. The way he owned every inch of silence. The way his voice haunted me hours after he was gone. He didn't touch me that night. Not yet. But he made sure I knew I was watched. From the corner of the room, sitting in that high-backed chair with a glass of bourbon in his hand, he studied me like he was memorizing all the ways to break me. I curled up in the massive bed he told me to lie in. The silk sheets felt cold. Too clean. Too untouched. Just like me. You afraid of me, little dove? His voice came low, curling into the quiet like smoke. I turned toward him. I don't know. His smirk was lazy. Dangerous. You should be. I must have drifted off for an hour because I woke to the sound of the chair creaking. When I blinked through the haze, he was at the edge of the bed, crouching beside me. You didn't eat, he murmured, brushing a knuckle down my cheek. I wasn't hungry. You don't get to decide that anymore. I flinched. You really think you own me? No, he said, voice like velvet over steel. I know I do. He reached for the thin strap of my nightgown, the one his maid had laid out for me, sheer and barely decent, and let it fall off my shoulder. You wore this just to test me, didn't you? He muttered, eyes glued to the swell of my chest. I didn't pick it. Doesn't matter. He leaned closer. Your body still begged me with every breath. My heart pounded as he hovered over me, his hand sliding down my thigh, slow, claiming, possessive. Tell me no, he whispered. Right now. Say the word, and I'll walk away. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Because I didn't want him to stop. I wanted the monster. The man. The danger. And he knew it. Good girl, he growled. Then his mouth was on mine, punishing, hot, claiming. His tongue pushed deep, swallowing my moan as his hands pinned me to the bed like I was prey caught in a trap. But I didn't want to run. I wanted to burn. Strip. Lie down. Show me what's mine. I tried to keep my breath steady as I stood at the edge of the bed, dress trembling in my fingers. I could feel my heartbeat pounding in my throat. In my core. You want me to beg? I whispered. He smirked. No, baby girl. I want you to remember. Every fucking second of what I do to you tonight. I dropped the dress. It fell to the floor like a surrender flag. No bra. No panties. Just me. Bare. Shaking. Soaking wet. Nico's eyes went black. Not dark. Black. He stepped forward, reached out, and dragged a single finger from my collarbone down to the valley between my breasts. His touch was barely there, but it scorched. Then he dipped his head low. Lie back. I obeyed. I didn't even think. Just moved. Laid down on silk sheets that still smelled like danger. Like him. And when he crawled over me, slow, controlled, lethal, I swear the room shifted. You ever been eaten like your pussy's the last meal on earth? He murmured, mouth at my ear, hand sliding down between my thighs. I. Shoo, he grinned, lips brushing my jaw. Don't answer. I'll know the truth when I taste it. And then he was there. Between my legs. Spreading them with brutal tenderness. Pulling my thighs over his shoulders like they were custom designed for his goddamn face. He looked up once. Smirked. Keep your hands in my hair. I want to feel how bad you fall apart. And then... he licked. Slow. Flat. From bottom to top, so wet, so hot, so deep, it nearly snapped my spine. Fuck, I gasped, fingers diving into his thick, dark hair. That's right, baby, he groaned against me. Say it again. Moan it. Let the walls hear what a good girl sounds like when I ruin her. He sucked my clit into his mouth, gently, rhythmically, before diving his tongue lower. Sliding inside me. Fucking me with it. My legs were shaking. My back arched. I was floating and burning and sobbing his name all at once. Nico, oh my god, please. He looked up from between my thighs, lips glistening with me, eyes like a fucking demon. Say it. Say what? Say this pussy's mine. It's fuck, it's yours, Nico, all fucking yours. He groaned, deep and possessive, then dragged his mouth up to mine and kissed me hard. Let me taste myself on his tongue as he undid the rest of his belt, pulled out the thick, veined heat of his cock, and ran it over my slit like a slow, dangerous promise. You ever been fucked by a man who doesn't stop when you come? He asked, voice dark in velvet. And no. You're about to. And then he slammed inside me. I screamed. One hand gripping the headboard, the other clawing his back. He was huge. Thick. Stretching me so deep it felt like my body was breaking in the best possible way. He growled against my neck. Tight little cunt. Like you were made to take this cock. He started thrusting. Hard. Deep. Grabbing my thighs and pushing them back, locking me in place while he fucked into me like he owned every nerve in my body. I was gone. Moaning. Crying. Coming. My walls fluttered around him, body convulsing as he kept going. Didn't stop. Didn't slow. You come for me again, he snarled. I want to feel this pussy milk my cock. Squeeze it, sweetheart, let me feel your fucking soul. I screamed his name as I came again, harder this time, walls spasming as he pounded through it. You're mine, he grunted, voice raw. Nobody else will ever fuck you. Nobody else will make you come like this. Say it. I'm yours, Nico, yours, fuck, don't stop. He bent low, bit my neck. His thrusts turned vicious. Desperate. Controlled chaos. Then with a dark, guttural groan, he buried himself deep, held me tight, and came hard, cock twitching inside me as he filled me with heat and fire and every filthy promise he'd made since I walked into his world. He didn't pull out right away. He stayed there. Chest heaving. Hands tangled in mine. His cock still inside me, thick and warm, as if claiming every part of me from the inside out. You good? He whispered. I nodded weakly. I think you broke me. He chuckled darkly. Good. He kissed me. Slow and sweet. Then dragged the sheet over us like it was a blanket made of secrets. You sleep in my arms tonight, he murmured against my skin. And tomorrow, you tell me your limits, so I can obliterate them one by one. I dozed off. But when I woke up sore. Sore and marked. His fingerprints were bruised into my thighs like dark kisses. My lips were swollen from the way he owned my mouth. My body ached in the most sinful places. And yet, my soul felt hollow and full at the same time. He wasn't in the bed. But he was everywhere. In the sheets. In the scent clinging to my skin. In the ache between my legs and the tremble in my ribs. I sat up slowly, silk clinging to my bare body, when I heard it. The piano. Low. Raw. Haunting. A melody half remembered, half broken, drifting through the penthouse like a ghost humming a lullaby. I pulled on his robe. It drowned me in him, his warmth, his cologne, his danger. And I followed the sound. There he was. Nico De Rossi. The devil. The Don. Sitting shirtless at a black grand piano with tattoos crawling down his spine and scars slicing across his ribs like stories that refused to be silenced. He didn't stop playing when I walked in. Didn't know you could play, I whispered. He didn't look at me. Didn't know I still remembered. I sat on the arm of the leather chair, eyes locked on his hands, long, bruising, gentle, fingers gliding across the keys like they were making love to every note. You're not just angry, are you? I murmured. You're sad. His hands slowed. Then he looked up. His eyes weren't cold tonight. They were burning. Do you know why I claimed you, little dove? Because you could, I said quietly. His jaw clenched. His throat worked like the words cost him blood. No. He stood. And the way he moved, like a storm dressed in silk and sins unrepented, made me forget how to breathe. I was supposed to kill your father. My world paused. Nico kept walking. But when I opened the file, I saw you. His voice cracked, but it was still laced with hunger. Still dominant. Still desperate. You were 17 in that photo. Eyes like fire. A smile like sin. And all I could think was, God help me. I'll tear the world apart before I let anyone hurt her. My breath hitched. You saw a picture of me, and chose not to kill him? He nodded once, slow. Dangerous. I should have put a bullet in his skull, he said darkly. But all I could think about was how to get you. How to own you. How to make sure no other man would ever touch what was meant for me. That's not love, Nico, I whispered. His laugh was sharp. Bitter. No, he said. It's worse. It's obsession. The kind that keeps me up at night, jerking off to the memory of your laugh. The kind that makes me want to lock you in this penthouse, chain you to my bed, and fuck the resistance out of you until you forget your own damn name, except mine. He was in front of me now. Chest bare. Eyes wild. Hands shaking. I'm not a good man. I know. I'll ruin you. You already have. His hand cradled my cheek, so gentle, it broke me. But I'll protect you with everything I am. I'll kill for you. Burn for you. Bury kingdoms if I have to. Just say it, baby girl. His voice dropped to a whisper, like it hurt to ask. Say you're mine. My heart slammed against my ribs. I looked into the eyes of a monster. A man with blood on his hands and scars across his soul. And I gave him the only word that mattered. Yes. The end.